I think we're live.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's go ahead. Do it.
from the deepest, darkest reaches of space, brings you an epic journey of epic proportions. Although Diz isn't here, so it's not as epic.
No, so let's just fake it. You just cost us like half the viewership by telling the truth. So I was trying to actually do this and say, oh, the video is frozen, and then kind of fake her voice. No,
Oh, that would have
people
ruined
and
the whole thing. That would have been
people
great.
and peepettes, people of the internet. Um,
Why is my camera not moving?
Wait a minute, I actually got double voice here. Hold on. I can hear you. Look at that. Oh my God. Why can't I stop it?
Oh, do you got the window, the YouTube open?
I actually have the Google page open. Here we go. Okay, it's kind of like last time. We start with a little delay and things don't work so well. Here we go.
It's always good luck to have a little
Yes.
bit of a little thing.
A lot of refreshing of cameras going on maybe today. We'll never know.
Never know. The world's a crazy place. Those satellites are all, hitting each other in space.
Yeah. Yeah, we had, unfortunately, Dizzy won't be here tonight. She had a close encounter with Albert, a storm, and knocked out their power, I think like a day and a half ago already. And I think she won't have power for another, about 5 hours, 6 hours, that's what they said. So I know it's disappointing, and we actually did lose 2 viewers right now.
Oh man! See, they
We-
got
we
caught
have
in the
to-
power out.
Yeah, we have to fight hard to get them back. Okay, let's do it. All right, so Jeremy, welcome back to the show. What is going on?
Well, yeah. Can you notice that on the screen? It's like the power out is literally trying to get our program.
How do you mean? Do you have
My,
problems?
my resolution just got hit. It's amazing.
Oh, really? No, mine was fine. So I was just saying, what's going on? What's new at Creature Caster?
Oh man, Creature Caster is every day it's sculpting, and every day it is solving little problems. There's technical things like little file issues, and the computer's not an issue. It's running great, but it turns out that Mudbox doesn't like to recognize every file that's given to me. And nowadays I'm working with a couple different artists to give me base meshes. So it's a little bit of wrangling and just kind of getting things organized. But I just kind of did inventory because I sent a bunch of models out to get printed, and that inventory session went very well. And
Nice.
that was going to be my big nightmare day where I open up files, they don't work, I have to reformat them, recover them. That day went beautifully, and it was almost like all my good karma, was paid off in that day. And ever since then, I've been paying it forward for the next time I have to send the models.
Good. Well, I mean, Murphy was here. That was just clear. So he had no time to be on 2 continents at the same time.
I think Murphy was busy, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. So, how many sculpts are finished right now?
Right now we've got almost half the range is finished.
Okay.
And by finished, I mean all the models, all their rocks, all their weapons, and then a few of them need their bonus little bits. Like a couple of them need their Kickstarter exclusives, and then the rest of them are in some stage of development. Every model has been sculpted now, so that means even models like the Possessed Dragon that nobody's seen a model for, it's kind of in that early zombie dragon phase where it used to be. So I could at this point show models for every creature, but some look way better than others, like the Maggot Demon looking really good.
Do you have anything on that computer right now that you can show us?
I do, but it's on that computer over there.
Oh,
I just
no.
recently switched my workstation. But it's also early days. But I can tell all the Creature Caster viewers that I just shot an update. It was on the comments section, so you could find the video there. But today it's going to be released, since it's Monday, as an official update, and you're going to see tons of new stuff. You're going to see the Vulture Demon heads. You're going to see the alternate Emperor Dragon head. You're going to see the Plague Angel sculpt, the beginning of it. There's a ton of stuff there, and you'll be able to see that in your email inbox later because it will be a Kickstarter official update.
Cool. So this is actually the second to last update here.
So there you can see, we got the Zombie Dragon going.
Yeah.
Most of the Zombie Dragon is actually more complete now, with a more complete Howdah, and his base rock as well. So he's very close to completion, and it was almost unfortunate that I did him first because he was so detailed that it just meant that every model down the road would have to be that detailed.
Nice. Well, that's good.
Which is good.
Yeah. No, I love it. I mean, the wings with the little like torn, what do you call that, wingspan thing, really really nice. So, Howdah, is that like a real name? Is that something that exists? Is that what it's called?
Howdah is a funny name because it's when you look at like an oliphant or an elephant that Hannibal used to ride. The
Right.
platform that they had on top was called a howdah,
Okay.
and so it's real when you put it on an elephant. Now, when you put it on a dragon, it kind of keeps being a howdah, and it kind of isn't a howdah anymore. So it's the closest thing, as far as I can tell. I'm the first person who's ever named that platform, and I just used the elephant name. So I'm hoping in a fantasy turn or in a fantasy sense, it kind of blends in. You can see it there on
Yeah,
the on the elephant.
Google for the rescue. So we have a Howdah here and a Howdah
Yeah,
there. This seems to be a Howdah for some reason.
that little pepper shaker pistol. Those are awesome.
All right, cool. Let me just get this
So I
back.
wasn't making it up. Really does happen on a.
Yeah,
But I
that's
really like them.
yeah, there's a lot of new words to learn. Howdah is definitely a good word. Now,
We're in a great hobby for learning words for sure.
so that means that when you say they're in production, they're being printed or they're already printed. What is the stage right now?
Right now, not all of the HAP are being printed, but most of the HAP are being printed. So that means every one of the demons will be printed.
Oh, okay.
And then this week is Dragon Week. And Dragon Week means I size all them up together. They all have to get along. It's like there's two little gangs in Creature Caster. One is the demons, one is the dragons. And the demon gang, they've been getting along for a while now. They've all been in the party and they've all been mingling. But the dragons are the new kids on the block. And they've got some very specific challenges. They've got big wings, they got long bodies, and they also have to separate into kits as well. So right now I'm figuring out their party, and they're a lot of fun. And just with the skills I developed over the last couple of years, it turns out sculpting them is a lot easier, a lot more intuitive, and just a lot more fun.
Nice. So the printing, how long does it usually take to print? Like let's say the demon, the what's it called? The not the blood demon. What's it called? I'm sorry.
Warrior demon.
Yeah. So how long does it usually take to print that?
Well, that's a big
the runtime of the printer.
Well, what I do now is I use a print house where I give them several models at once. This means that on the build plate that they have, this will be fun for any would-be printers out there. There's a build plate, and the plate is, say about as big as my hand. It's maybe about 2 hands. And the printer wants to build up, and as it builds up, it takes a very long time. So what you want to do is you actually want to populate the latitude and longitude of your plate with lots of stuff. So as it builds up, you're getting lots of things done at once. So with all the demons being sent there at one time, with the exception of the spider demon, which I already got printed up, which turned out awesome, they can now populate a build plate with lots of stuff. Now it's still going to take about 48 hours to pass through the machine, and that means I'm going to need pretty much a 2-day lock off of a machine. Now this studio, they do the printing for McFarlane toys. They do the printing for all sorts of the Sideshow collectibles that you've seen.
Okay.
They do massive amounts of work, and I'm really lucky to have a personal friend in the guy that's running it, and he does a phenomenal job. But we still have to wait a while for it. It usually takes about, with transit time, about a month. We send them out. The mailing is quick. I'm lucky for that, and then the printing itself. But not only that, the thing that makes this printing shop quite unique is that they do so much finishing work on it. And I was skeptical of that because as a modeler, I'm like, oh, my finishing work is the only work I can trust. But these people are absolutely amazing, and they will do they'll finish it with an airbrush sealant and primer, and it's really amazing.
Okay, so with a primer, then you can just do the cast. Is that why you do it?
Well, the primer is a very important final stage. It does two things. One, it really lets you look at the model. This is important because you've got all these pieces everywhere. They're printing not only in colored resins, but they're sometimes printing in transparent resins. The reason being is that light that gets cast out from that machine can not only go into the resin, it can actually go through the parts that have already been printed, making an even crisper print. So I would suggest experimenting in kind of these kind of clear things. The one we have here in Vancouver, it just prints that standard yellow, which is nice, but this stuff just really, it's how it gets to the next level. And then you sand it, and then you're going to see the sanding. It's going to start to become a little bit matte. But once you hit it with the primer, then it makes everything consistent once again. And actually, you might have noticed this if you've ever painted a garage kit, one of the Japanese kits or the Takea kits, where it's really smooth. It's almost like somebody got the finest plasticky sandpaper and made the surface smooth. It does not absorb paint very well. Yeah. So if you hit it with that primer, it's got that slight texture, that microscopic texture, and the casting is so good, it actually casts in a little bit of that texture. So this is, it's always going to give your brush something to grab onto. Yeah. It's not a microscopic. It's on a pretty small level. Maybe not microscopic, but pretty tiny. But I find it makes a big difference.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's actually a good tip because we're also working on a couple of 3D printed models right now, and just having this kind of extra grip that you just mentioned, I think that would be a good idea. And I just very quickly browsed a picture on the internet with regards to that building plate. Now this is one of the smallest ones you can find. I think it's from an Oreos. So this is kind of what things look like. So this is actually from a jeweler making rings. And
yeah, that looks like the Perfactory. They got a mini model.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's what they're also using, like in dental, for making teeth and stuff. And so really, I think what's interesting is there's a lot of you want to use as much space as possible on the print, because it just takes forever to print this. And then you have this little support structure on the bottom here. Obviously, those things don't hover in the air, and that's then what's being cleaned off. It actually breaks off quite easily, as you can see. It's like really, really thin, and then you need to kind of clean it and work on the rest of it, right?
So in a way, it's very similar to what we've been doing in the hobby for years. Yeah. And you know, it's a skill set that we're actually pretty used to. Now, that's not to say it's particularly easy. You do need very skilled labor to do a very good job with it. It takes a while to get a company that you trust. The company that I'm using are tens of thousands of miles away, and it took me a couple years to find them. But just a note to anybody who's an amateur, you know, just like I was a couple years ago, printing out stuff, well, really like 4 years ago now, printing out stuff, trying it out. Use your local print shop, use Modeler online, use any of the big printers companies. Don't buy your own printer, try printing it. But if you are a professional in the industry, you're watching this, you know, this cast, and you are interested in printing, then give me a message and I can send you my contact information once I'm done printing all my stuff, because I got to get on my stuff first.
You don't want to get a higher bidder in there.
Well, this is you know as well as I do. This is how it works in the world. It's not a matter of where you stand in line. It's a matter of how big your order is.
That's true. Yeah. We just went through that in our DVD production. So tell me all about it.
I'm preaching to the choir, but you know how it is. Like for us, these are the headaches that we have as the world. The headaches that the customer or the backer or supporter of our company has, we're the world. So it's a bit of a strange kind of set of things, which, you know, it's very difficult to prepare for when you're a company. It's having to deal with these outside forces, and it's almost like a parent, and then somebody in the government tells your parent something, and then the parent has to tell the family. It feels very strange to me sometimes.
I'm just going to get one thing set up really quick, and that is the community feedback. So if you leave your comments and questions on YouTube, we can actually answer them right on the show if I find the right icon. Where is it? No. Is it this one? No, it's not. Where's my tool? My toolbox is gone. Come on, give me my toolbox.
It's not my toolbox. I stole your toolbox.
Here we go. Let's add that. Okay, all right. So we already have a couple of comments. Spud is there. Hey, Spud.
Hey, Spud. Oh, man, this might be a good time. Sorry to cut you off, Michael, but this might be a good time to plug Spud's eBay auction for the Nurgle Greater Demon.
Oh, wait
I'm
a minute.
sorry, I just put you on a big quest to find that. I'm sorry.
That is no problem.
I should have mentioned it before the show, but I'm a little bit gobsmacked. It's there. It's amazing, and somebody in the world is going to have the ultimate collector's item from Chilling Wargamers. I hear it. It might even come with chicken bones.
Is it? No,
If you look
that's
at
not
on
him.
eBay, his eBay name is Spud the Geek.
Spud the Geek. Okay, hold on. Let's just find that. Is it all in one?
Spud the Geek, all in one.
No, I can't find him.
My favorite.
Spud, link. Put your link in the YouTube description for that eBay auction. We're gonna pull it
Plug
up.
it.
Plug it. Yeah, and hopefully you get your internet and everything back. They're currently on a little break on Chilling Wargamers, so we have to fill in. That's why we have 2 Beeble Babbles this week, so people don't notice that so much. And no, they're going to be back in a couple of weeks. Then we have.
He's
Go ahead.
riding yachts, bumper yachts in the Caribbean, I think.
I'm not so sure about that. I think I heard he was on a chicken hunt somewhere. So, I'm not sure. Like chicken safari. So we have Kimo Kirkby also there. First time I've actually been awake from one of these. Morning, everyone. So yeah, probably also West Coast somewhere, Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
He must be West Coaster like me, yeah.
Yeah. Now, and he says that he says that Dragon Week is bigger than Shark Week, so you should sculpt a Dragonado.
That's awesome. They just swoop until they make like tornado proportions.
Yeah. That movie,
and they get swept up in it.
That movie is just horrible. It's like you got this clear sky pictures from the beach, and all of a sudden you got the tornado going, and then you got the clear sky again. It's like, wow, it's like so bad. All right, so we got that set up. Next question I have for you is with regards to your pledge manager, which was also in the same update on your Kickstarter. What's going on there?
Well, we got even more news on the pledge manager. I put this graphic up just to let everybody know it hasn't launched yet. I totally understand. We've got over 1,000 people waiting to use it, and everybody's wondering when it's going to go up. Nobody wants to miss it for a very good reason. Because the pledge manager is where you let me know exactly what you want to get. So right now there's an alpha that was built. Kenny just mailed me all the information to log into it. It looks way better than I expected. Kenny's been doing a bunch of these. He's done like 7 of these now, but he's never actually boiled everything into a piece of software that he can then scale to any business with its own personal needs. And we're all aware of companies like BackerKit, and we're aware of companies like Celery, and these are things that are used for pledge managers, but they're still not as powerful as to handle all the stuff in a campaign like mine, even though a campaign like mine isn't that complex. So what Kenny's gone in, what I did is I paid him to go in and actually develop a piece of software and encouraged him to make it so that he could scale it to further Kickstarters that he does and actually brand himself as a pledge manager specialist. So this, it actually tacked on a couple weeks to the time of the pledge manager. But the only reason why I really went ahead and empowered him to do that is because I knew everyone could wait a couple more weeks. I was given a lot of really positive feedback for people to have me take my time, make sure it's just right, and I thought that was great because it's gonna be ready in a couple weeks, so it's gonna be another few weeks. But the good news is now Kenny can use this in any Kickstarter he does in the future. People who are backers of my Kickstarter can use it, and if they're ever doing a Kickstarter, they can then use Kenny's software as well. And it's very easy to use. Plus, it comes with him included, so he can help you through it. Nice. And it's not only did Creature Caster backers have a chance to back Creature Caster, they also inadvertently had a chance to back Skycadia, which is Kenny's company. So at the cost of 2 extra weeks. So I really want to thank Creature Caster fans for being visionary and supportive enough to really help Kenny out and. Not that he needed help, but just me being this entrepreneurial type, I'm like, why don't you just make it so that you can scale this to any Kickstarter you do? And we just got along on those levels, and and it's really a result of the Creature Caster backers.
Yeah, and I think it's always good if you're starting like something like this to really go into the where could this go kind of phase very early on, because if you build something with just one task to do and then you want to change it later, that's usually not a good plan. Just things will just go wrong from that point on.
Well, that's exactly right, and why not? You know, he's a great programmer, and it just some of these things never occurred to him. But sometimes when you're outside of the forest, it's a little bit easier to get the look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used the Becker kit myself last week, and it worked fine. I mean, no problems with that. It did feel a little generic because there's not so much branding and stuff going on. It's more like, okay, these are the options, and so it's like kind of like a checkout feeling to it. So I'm
It's
really
nice
looking.
though, very graphical.
It's all right. So I'm really looking forward to what you're doing there, and to compare it and see what's going on there.
Yeah, totally. We didn't use BackerKit like primarily because it didn't allow enough power when choosing your free gifts, when choosing your some of your options. And also with BackerKit, you can't keep going back in and changing your order. But with My Pledge Manager, you can. And also with My Pledge Manager, it can be reopened later. So if we decide to add something to it to give you one last chance, we can actually we can unlock it and do that for you. So it doesn't sound like much, but when you got 1,000 backers, someone's gonna have a friend that wants to get something at the last minute for a great deal, and it's just gonna give more and more chances. But Hanger used BackerKit and they did it perfectly. We were going to use BackerKit for about a good month before we launched. So you know, different strokes for different folks.
Right. Yeah. And I think you're, if I remember this correctly from the post, there was that you also support PayPal, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely huge as well. So you know, PayPal does all the credit card verification, and I have PayPal, so it tends to be what I use. And you know, again, very robust, very easy.
Very good. So we have that out of the way. What else is new on your side? Now you said you're sculpting the whole time. You're finishing your designs.
Whole lot of sculpting. Had a couple life things kind of happen, like a couple rocky days there. So had to kind of work through some of that. But the good news is the sculpting is free, so I'm always on budget. The office is good. Tore up a bunch of carpet. Actually, I had carpet in my office, and then I'm now putting a bit of just a lino down there, or not lino rather, but just like a hardwood, and yeah, just kind of got the new computer going. It's worked absolutely beautifully. Filling it full of legit software, just so nothing is virusy or cracked, because the computer is really quite delicate. So just kind of, you know, a few new things for me in those kind of departments, and in many ways, I feel like I've grown up a lot over the last couple months, and all in good ways. I feel I have more to offer my friends when they need help with stuff, and then in a lot of ways too, people know me as I promote a lot. I try to help promote my friends. People see Dizzy's, you know, kind of me involved in promoting her channel, and of course with Painting Buddha. And you know, my friends at Chillers, and I'm starting to notice that I can do a lot of good on the internet. I can do a lot of good with my tools, you know, with my sculpting and with my networking. But in life, it's still difficult. You know, if you have friends that say they want help but don't really, when you lead those horses to water, you still can't make them drink, regardless of what else has gone on. So. In some ways, my friends online and my affiliates online feel very comfortable to me, and it's a place where I can actually be myself. Whereas in my real life, I still find it a little bit hard to fit in sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's nice what you just mentioned. It's like with Dizzy, and big shout out to Dizzy. I'm pretty sure that you're watching this after the show. When you get your power back, first thing she's going to do is going to fire up YouTube and see what she missed. But no, I think in general, I mean, even whether it's on the Beeble Babble or even not live on the internet. Yesterday I talked to the guys from Guild Ball. It's a UK company. They're doing like a kind of Blood Bowl kind of game with really, really, really cool miniatures. I'm going to actually, while I talk about it, I'm just going to show this.
Oh, that'd be great, because they've got some really cool artwork, and I love the format. I love fantasy sports game format.
And they have some really cool designs there. Hold on.
Oh, they got that really awesome guild thing, like with the Fishers Guild and the Masons Guild. They got such cool imagery there.
Is this the right one? See, I have a hard time finding stuff today. I think it's just too warm. My head is not working.
It's warm everywhere. It's crazy. It's really hot here in Vancouver too.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, actually, I wanted to see the sculpts, and I had them up yesterday. Kickstarter.com. What's a Kickstarter? Was it Indiegogo? I think it was Kickstarter.
I think it was Kickstarter. I think maybe.
The thing with Kickstarter is you always have to spell it exactly right, otherwise it's not going to find it. Is it Guild Ball?
You know,
Yeah,
it's a
there we
funny.
go. I found it.
With Kickstarter, it's funny. It's not the most powerful backend in the world.
You know what? That is, to me, is so amazing. I mean, people have to understand that when you're running a Kickstarter, basically about 9% of your money goes away. Like 3.5 goes for the credit card authorization, and the rest goes to Kickstarter. That is a lot of money. If you wanted to go to a bank, you'll get much better conditions than 10% or 9%. But obviously, the bank doesn't really then end up buying 890 kits of your product, so that's they have it. But no, it's already gone, and I completely missed this. This was funded on March 22nd this year, and I'm really sad that I missed it because they have some really awesome stuff in here. Definitely, if anyone is watching, check it out. Guild Ball is 2 separate words on Kickstarter, and they have some really nice sculpts. Like her, for example, I like her a lot. Like the face, little off-center balance style. This guy here, very dynamic, different angles in the sculpt, and so the game looks really awesome. And what's nice, I think, if I remember correctly, the Kickstarter itself is resin, and then they're going into metal. And if you look at this comparison here, there's almost no difference. They have an awesome metal production, and I prefer metal miniatures both for collecting as well as for gaming because you just have a better feel in your hand when you're playing, and things don't really break off so quickly. And they have some really unique characters. They have some, as you mentioned, very unique guilds going on. And so I've been talking to them yesterday, and it's kind of nice because we're starting to find people that are like-minded, if you want, that don't put profit first, that think about retailers a lot. I know that Guild Ball, for example, thinks a lot about retailers and how to revive their business and so on. We have some thoughts on that as well. And I think it's really nice to kind of find these people. And yes, we are all very small companies, if you want. I mean, sometimes companies even seems wrong. Like you're a guy with a couple of people helping you. I'm a guy with 2 guys working for me, and some other people helping us. But I think the goal we have is kind of nice, and I feel it's kind of starting to roll now, and things will be going faster and better from here on.
Well, you know, also, if there's ever a group of people in the world that I believe is most concerned with authenticity, with getting the real deal, making sure people are treated fairly, I honestly think that nerds like myself who want first edition, who want it signed by the author, people in our hobby are extremely savvy to authenticity and to fairness, especially to corporate fairness. Like how many Honda enthusiasts are reading the quarterly report from Honda? Like GW fans read the quarterly reports. They do, or they are interested in the business. And when you're a small outfit like Painting Buddha, Creature Caster, we have to be aware of fairness in retailers. There are discounters. There are people that will seek to make things difficult for you. And it's no bad thing to have the fans included in that conversation, because I think fans more than anybody are interested in the fairness of trade when it comes to these products. And of course, it's great to see Guild Ball being interested as well.
It's to me, it's amazing because like these guys from Guild, I talked to them yesterday, like I think for 2.5 hours, and we started the conversation at midnight my time, so it was really late.
Wow.
But I mean, these guys like Rich and Matt, really nice guys, and they have their heart like on the right spot. Like it's amazing. It's like we found so many similarities. It wasn't even similarity. It was like the same ideas in some of these areas. And these guys, they produce in the UK right now because they are from the UK. They don't do cheap production somewhere offshoring that to China or wherever. And they have a great game and a great product. And sometimes I'm sad to see other companies on Kickstarter raking in millions within a couple of days with a good game, but a product that is just really probably produced for $5-6 somewhere in China. And
Yeah.
I still feel that the whole Kickstarter scene is moving to Amazon with like a 1-year delivery time frame.
Right. Yeah,
Kind of makes
interesting
me
to
sad.
think that it's the part of the Kickstarter magic is that it's not a pre-order. It's a company funding platform. This is it's hard to distinguish sometimes what is a real company. It's funny, Reaper is a real company, but when Reaper came out with that Kickstarter, they needed to buy the machine to make what they were selling in the Kickstarter. So in a way, it was a real Kickstarter but then again, it's Reaper. This is a company that turns hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales in a year. So there's a gray area that forms where people can debate. I think it's beautiful. I think that people should have options. Options is never a bad thing. But people should make choices and find out where they belong in that spectrum. Because you're right, it's a little bit Wild West out there sometimes.
I think a lot of people, if you ask people what is a Kickstarter, a lot of people start saying, well, it's something where you buy a product and then you get a lot of free stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of the feeling right now. Yeah, and if you don't offer a lot of free stuff, in the end, you're not going to be very successful. And that kind of, I don't know, defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
Well, I honestly, I've thought a great deal about Kickstarter and thought, I've noticed how my expectations about it changed when I did it. To date, are you still getting me okay? It says internet connection.
Yeah, no, yeah, I got perfect pictures, so that's just Skype. Skype has a problem, we don't.
That'll probably go away soon.
Can I get this way? No, I can't. All right.
So, what happens is, you have all these expectations going into it. You see other Kickstarters, and then you do your own, and then you notice things change. Now, whatever Creature Caster did, we did it right in terms of getting lots and lots of money, lots of backers. I think also we have extremely positive backers, and I read comment sections in other Kickstarters, and I'm convinced that Creature Caster backers are amazing people, but I also know psychologically I'm predisposed to feeling that way. But I can't help but feel it's true. So having said that, I think if I were to ever do a Kickstarter again, it would have to be for something that I am pioneering, something that is risky, something that the community must get behind in order for it to work. And in a lot of ways, I think I want to do a Kickstarter which actually directly empowers the backers in a very unique way. Because backers have a conversation that's going on all the time. They're constantly getting to know each other. I want to take that idea and be like, if you get in on the Kickstarter, you get to be part of this very exclusive club. And the club is a way of talking and a way of meeting. Like, I'll be going to Gen Con and meeting with Creature Caster backers there. And I have a feeling that's going to be a very special moment because we will see people for the first time. And it's just, there it is. And it's just going to be, I can't help but feel Kickstarter would get so much more value out of it if it really supported that kind of community aspect as well.
I guess Kickstarter really is not, I mean, we look at Kickstarter from a kind of miniature perspective, but really I think miniatures is just a very small portion of what they're doing anyways. There's, I mean, like solar streets that are being funded and I don't know what. So maybe a game that raises $1 million or so is probably just a very small thing in the big scheme of things. So.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's talk about Gen Con.
Well, Gen Con's going to be cool. So I talked to the folks from Screaming Heretic, and Joe is absolutely amazing. He messaged me and said, I can put you up if you want to come out to Gen Con and throw you in a hotel room. And I'm like, oh, dude, fantastic. And he was that was a podcast where he told me that he was friends with Larry Elmore. Larry Elmore had seen my work. He liked my work. Said he was very friendly and would meet with me. So I've just been absolutely freaking out every day, thinking about meeting Larry Elmore, who's a real living link to Dungeons and Dragons, which is my real passion, my first real passion. And it's just going to be awesome. And at Gen Con, I'll be tweeting when I'm there, and I'll also be updating the Facebook and updating the Creature Caster site, letting everybody know where the meet and greet is, and we'll do a little Creature Caster informal meet and greet, probably in the lobby or in a foyer. and all get together, take some photos together, and I'm even going to be bringing some prints. That means you'll actually see the real 3D original prints that will be in a locked briefcase on my wrist.
So do you have like a little, like a cufflinks? No, what are called? The handcuffs connecting to that thing? Yeah,
we'll
nice.
have the bodyguards, and then I'll be able to show some people some prints, which is really exciting.
Awesome. So Gen Con or Gen Con is from August 14 to 17. That is,
and that's in Indianapolis.
6 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, Indianapolis. Tickets. It's near Chicago. It's kind of like in that kind of central east kind of part of the states.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know if I think there's a 4.2% chance that I will go. If I go, it'll be my vacation this year. Gen Con is something I really wanted to go to, like always. Plus, I would like to go back to Indianapolis. My favorite restaurant in the world is there, the St. Elmo's Grill and Bar.
Oh, wow.
It's really good. I think it's one of the top 5 rated steakhouses in the U.S.
Really dude, we should go, man. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I know. So if I go to Gen Con, we go.
Well, that would be amazing. And plus, I never do. My internet connection thing is still that's weird. It's a Canadian thing.
No, it's actually that's a problem. And hold on while we try to get the call back. It's like, no, there's no call to get back.
The call's fine.
Yeah. It's so. Oh, what happens if I press this? Can I close it?
Magical.
Oh well, we'll deal with it.
That's cool. I got a little necktie. My little bow tie is my internet problem tie. But you know, Justin from Arcane Factories might go. And
nice.
I never go out to conventions, so like I'm up here in Vancouver. I never get out. I just sit in my home and sculpt all day. And occasionally, that's why I'm so pale. And occasionally we'll go out. And so for people at the convention, if I look slightly nervous and out of place, then it's just because I don't normally do these things. It should be cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have Kimo Kirkby, who we talked about earlier. He is from Hawaii. So that's very West Coast. And he just wrote the same thing, that the attitude of Kickstarters being like the free stuff that makes him sad, that he only supports smaller and newer, less mainstream companies, and that's really what I'm doing as well. First of all, there's a lot of Kickstarters, and I mean this year has been crazier than ever, and I'm not sponsoring or not funding any companies that really don't need the money. There's one company in particular right now that made $1 million or 1.2 million in 10 days already, and with a great game, granted that, but honestly they don't need the money. And so I'm not gonna spend it on that. But then there's a lot of smaller companies. I just recently funded a card game and like really smaller projects as well. And I think it's much nicer to back those because you know that the money goes towards people that are really doing something new and setting up a business.
Yeah.
He says that Creature Caster has been by far the most responsible Kickstarter I've seen, and not fall into the oh my god so much money, more, give me more, and overextend yourself. So.
Well, mahalo. I appreciate you saying that. And seriously, I wasn't born that way. I was born just as greedy as every other CEO in the world. It was only through a long process of talking to a lot of friends, getting grounded. I had a lot of consultants on the project, one of which was you, Michael. I was showing you a lot of stuff before we launched, and everybody was very supportive in that. My friend Ari in New York, he says he was the first to really put it into words, and he says, you don't have to be real greedy with this. You can, when you're done with what you're comfortable with delivering, you should probably stop offering miniatures. And the reason why I never talk about it is because it's so heartbreaking, but I do have sculpts, I do have artwork on my computer that if anybody were to see, they would absolutely demand that I sculpt it, so I could never show anybody if I wanted to.
How about you show them to us real quick?
You know what I'll do is I guarantee you the first thing I do when I launch or when I deliver those miniatures is I will show everybody that artwork. There will be a kind of a groan, a collective like, oh, and then there will be a hope for the future, I think, and something to look forward to.
Well, I mean, the Creature Caster Kickstarter was called Wave 1 for a reason, wasn't it?
It was. What it really was this is all I can do. This is like the max one human being is capable of. And even then I was pushing it. Even now I'm sculpting every day. So, it's I'm glad people appreciate it. I think it does go on some other Kickstarters, and I personally back anything that Stonehaven Miniatures does. I love all their Kickstarters. I love the guy. You know, he did everything right, and I've brought him up a million times in the past, and nobody knows about him. And he made this pop-up terrain thing that just absolutely exploded my brain. It's so cool. But I got to see his face. I saw this man's face. Like he was on his thing, and he goes, "Hey, you know, I sculpted this stuff. This is my company. This is why I do it." And I just, you know, fell in love with the guy. I thought it was unbelievable, and he seemed really honest to me. He seemed like a family guy. And his company was really small. It wasn't his fault that he made hundreds of thousands of dollars. It wasn't his fault. He just happened to be a very sincere dude. But I thought maybe that's what this world is a bunch of primarily good people who, when they are sincere, we get a chance to help them out. And that, to me, is my favorite part of Kickstarter.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and just to finalize the whole Gen Con thing real quickly, Kimo said that he will buy you a beer.
Oh, cool.
And he will bring you goodies from Hawaii. So I don't know what the Hawaiian specialties are, but maybe you'll get like a little flower necklace or something. And he also agrees that the St. Elmo's is great. They have the best shrimp cocktails. That is true. That is a fact.
Oh man, we're going for sure. That's going to be all there is to it. Yeah, you know what? Big ups for Hawaii. I love Hawaii. Sophie and I were going to do a trip. Then Creature Caster shifted into high gear, and we decided not to go to Hawaii this year. We kind of try to go every couple years. We go to Maui, but love Hawaii. Everybody go, and and hang out with Hawaiians. You know, if you're a particularly white face like me, and if you have slightly Polynesian-looking tattoos, which are not they're really more. This is a made-up tribe. It's not copied from any Hawaiian, Polynesian, Fijian tribe. But having said that, it's hard for the locals to really get into you because they grew there. We flew there. So just a word to anybody going to Hawaii: respect the locals. It's their country. It's their island. It's foreigners that go in there and, you know, put up the Walmarts. And then only through a couple beers and only with a nice chance to relax, then you'll find that Hawaiian people are amazing people. They're some of the best people in the world.
Yeah, I've never been to Hawaii. I definitely want to go. I've seen 26 states in the U.S. so far, so that's not a bad average, I think. But Hawaii definitely is kind of a little out of the way. So
right in the middle of that ocean.
That's true. All right, so we got Gen Con covered. I think Dizzy is going as well, isn't she?
You know, I keep trying to get Dizzy to go, but the thing is, she spent so much money on Kickstarters this year, she might not be able to get the funds together. But it's everything in my power.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Where are we? Okay, we got that. All right. So, from the Creature Caster side, I think we've covered everything that's important.
Let's talk about Painting Fluid, because I hear that you've been a busy beaver.
Yeah, no kidding. We've been really, really busy. Mostly we've been waiting, at least in the last couple of weeks. As everyone who's a supporter of us knows, we've had a couple of updates via newsletter and email, and also on the blog. We ran into some production problems. We have been done. Our work was done in the middle of April. We had a contract for the DVDs to be delivered 10 to 12 days after we are done. And it turned into 10 weeks, basically. And they just arrived last Friday. But the wait was well worth it. I mean, I could have done without it, to be honest. I'd rather I had them like 10 weeks ago. But I can actually now world exclusively show.
Oh, wow. He's going to show it.
I'm going to show it.
Oh man! Look at this. That is so classy.
This is so shiny. So this is the season 1.2 DVD. It's Free Hands and Banners with Stefan Rath. We call him also Dervish. And as always, we're not doing the cheap plastic DVD. So this is a fold-out DVD. Has some text about the artist, some text about Free Hands and Banners. Then we have, let's see, I can see this myself right now. So, so we have the first DVD here. Oh, actually, this is the second DVD. We got two different banners that he's painting. And as you can see from the design, we're trying to make sure that if you take a DVD out, that it still looks great on the background, things like that.
Whoa.
So
Ooh.
it's really not like a cheap. We're just making a plastic DVD and putting some printout on the outside. It's a really nice set. So this Freehands and Banners DVD is the one that will teach you basically how to paint professional banners. And the way Stefan does it, it's very how do you say that, followable. You can actually follow step by step. He's almost like scientifically doing it. I can't. This is too warm today. I just can't speak. Plus, I had some curry today, and my tongue swelled. Like, I had some allergic reaction. Like whoa, going like this.
Oh man, super curry.
Yeah, but no. He's showing a routine that he follows every single time he's doing a freehand, and he's one of the best freehand painters in the world. People know his works from like the Golden Demons and stuff. He's got 3 Slayer swords. The first miniature he ever entered got a Slayer sword. So he's pretty good, right? And this DVD will actually show you not only how to paint them, how to sketch them, but also teach you a lot about the right paint consistency. And the consistency of paint, the level of dilution, is something that is so important for kind of rising your level to the next level, if you want. And if you can control your paint, all of a sudden things that you thought were impossible to paint really become very easy. So that's the first DVD. It also comes with 2 little brochures. The one is a generic who we are kind of thing. It has a company motto on there: share and enjoy. And it talks about who we are. So I'm the bearded guy there. Yeah. Then what we do and why we do it. And this. Yeah, you know this already. For someone who doesn't know this yet, our company is not. I'm not too concerned about making a lot of profit. As long as we are breaking even, I'm actually fine. If I can break even till the end of my life, I will be the happiest man in the world, as long as we can continue doing this. So what we're doing is, from the profits we make, 42% we reinvest in our company, like new computers and software and these kind of things. 42% we reinvest in the community, and that will become much clearer in the next couple of weeks. We have a project going in this direction, and then in the end, 16% of our profits will be going to charity. And that's actually fixed not only in the terms of our company, but also in my contracts with the guys, that they know that this is what we're spending the profits on. So I think that's kind of neat.
It's very neat, man. Especially, you do have all that control when you're a small company, so why not use that control to do great things?
Yeah, and it's amazing. We had when we did the first DVD set, we had a total of we were like really small. We had like 400 followers on Facebook, and the DVD came out. Now we're at 5,400 almost after a year. It's really fast. And but when we had the first DVD set, we had 68 people that pre-ordered our DVDs. So for us, that was like a massive support already. We're like, oh wow, almost 100. Now we had, as of this morning, and I'm not kidding you, we had exactly 420 pre-orders.
Wow.
And that is 42% of our total quantity before it even got released. And that to us is just amazing. It's actually quite humbling if you look at it. And we're selling them, with the exception of Antarctica, to every continent. They're like everywhere, actually from Honolulu to New Zealand in the east, from the north of Finland to the south tip of Tasmania. So I think we're almost stretching that. We're not right on Pago Pago yet, which I posted today. It's an island somewhere on the UTC 11 time zone. So this is the second DVD. It's Base Alchemy Earth, and also very shiny. And then you see some items that are not shiny, so this is like a partial varnishing. It's really cool. This one actually is a little bigger set. I mean, the prices for both are the same. They both will be 29 euros at the end of the show. Right now, they're still a little cheaper. And then we have, well, I'm a little shaky here. So we got 3 DVDs. And then, of course, the chapter overview. And also on the back side, you see that it's like the whole design. We got the artist here. So Ben Comets, he's working for me. One of the probably best painters out there right now. Then
handsome.
Very handsome, yes, nice guy.
Everybody at Pinky Foot is very handsome.
Yeah, Matt. Well, Not everybody.
It's true. Don't
thanks,
deny it.
thanks for trying. If I do it like this, maybe. Like my mom would probably agree. But then we have Matt Sexwish. He's the second guy. And on this DVD set, we are showing how to do bases with the subject Earth. There will be a total of 5 sets out in the future. We'll have Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water. And then something we'll call Iron or Man-made.
That's like the Chinese elemental system has iron in it.
Does it? I don't even know.
Or it's wood.
It's possible. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it's basically it kind of goes back to this really ancient, whether it's Greek or medieval, whatever. You always had those 4 elements, and you have them basically in almost all cultures. And the next ones, actually, the next one we'll have the community decide which one we will do next. But so the focus is always on a certain area, and what we're doing is we have 3 DVDs. It's a total of over 9 hours of instructions on there, and we have one for army bases or single showcase bases where you just do like 1 miniature on there. Then we have one for what we call unit bases. It's basically like a little diorama. You also have gaming bases in there, but you can't see them anymore. You just you can take the miniatures out. It's really cool. And then we have one, and that thing is just stunning. Is a show base, and it has no miniature. It's just a show base on how to do vegetation, earthworks, and so on. And both DVDs are always kind of planned in a way where you do the planning first, then you're doing some schematics, and then we're going into the real how to do these things. And there's like tons and tons and tons of tips and tricks on there. And there's definitely somebody for everyone. I think that this probably will be our most successful DVD so far because it's for gamers. They can make, with very simple means, very nice bases for their armies. And it really scales all the way to the highest level of show painting. And I think this is going to be a really, really nice DVD set. Plus, I think it's going to be a must for every serious gamer and painter. So definitely my recommendation as well. And then again, we have 2 brochures, and then one for the bases as well. And actually, I do have a picture of all of the 3 bases in here, which I probably can show real quick. So on the back, you'll see the gaming bases. In the middle, like right here, you see the unit base. This unit base actually contains 5 bases, which you can't really see, which is really nice.
Ooh.
And then this one here is the show base. And if you go to our store, www.paintingbuddha.com, you'll see bigger pictures of that as well. And until the end of the show, it's still early birds because I didn't early bird prices, so it's cheaper and you get extra goodies. You'll get a bag like this. And it has a free miniature. It's Randolph Streisand. It has a modeling clay. You can probably sculpt 3 of these miniatures with this modeling clay. It's from Beast Putty. It's a new oven baking clay. It's really, really cool. It has it offers you really sharp details compared to other masses, and it's really, really nice. And then, of course, we have a bunch of stickers, and we got a bunch of buttons and all these kind of little gadgets that you need for a good supporter deal.
Cool. I want that button.
Yeah, well, I mean, you should probably go on the shop right now and order, because after the show I'm going to take the early bird away, and then it's just the standard prices.
Is it last day today for the early bird?
It is last day today, yes. Actually, it was last day last night, and then we had, well, obviously 24 hours, and then Pago is the last country to be still on the 6th, so July 6th, 7 times 6 is 42.
People of Pago.
People of Pago, power to you. So we extended this a little bit, but we've been so busy today that I didn't have the time to actually take it down yet. So there's still a chance.
Get it, Pagos.
What's that?
Get it, Pagoites of the world.
Yeah, I call them Pagoans. I'm not really sure if that's politically correct or not, but we have not had an order from Pago yet, so maybe they'll never know. All right. So yeah, that's that for Painting Buddha. And now that we are shipping these things out, obviously pre-packing 420 orders. Well, I've been doing this pretty much nonstop since Friday, since they arrived. It's a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of work. And I'm pretty confident that we can get at least 95-96% of the orders out this week. There's a couple of orders where we still need like a t-shirt size and so on. So if we get those in time, we get those orders out as well.
Are you guys doing? Are you folding up boxes and taping them together, or are you able to use padded envelopes?
No, we do everything ourselves, like everything. We have custom-made boxes which are delivered flat, so we fold them up. Actually, I do have one picture somewhere here. Hold on, where is it here? So this is like from the floor all the way under the ceiling, and this is just maybe about a quarter of all of the pre-folded boxes we had. And then when I actually took the first one out, they all collapsed on me, so that was kind of fun. But
that is awesome.
Yeah, that is. You know what? It is fun. If you see like 300 pre-packed boxes just sitting on one spot, it looks really, really cool. So no, I did enjoy that. And let's see, do we have more pictures here? Yeah, and then here I was actually doing two of my favorite things.
Oh, nice.
Is packing the boxes. So here we have the 2 DVDs. You can actually see how nicely it fits in the box. It's all protected with this kind of foamy thing, whatever they're called. And
you got Dota championships.
No, this is wrong, man. This is League of Legends.
Oh, League of Legends.
So I was watching LCS at the same time until like 4 in the morning and just packing and watching. It was really, really cool. So yeah, that's how I spend my weekends. Party, man. I'm telling you.
Well, it's not always glamorous. Sometimes you got to roll up the sleeves and fill up those boxes. But you know, and I know that really satisfying feeling when you get a box, especially when you got a label on it. That's my favorite. And I hold the box up like in The Lion King, where they hold the baby, where they hold Simba up to
and you hear like angelic voices and stuff, and the light gets brighter and things.
I do that with every single package before I mail it out. I hold it up and I'm like, "You're gonna do good things. You're gonna make this guy so happy." And then I mail it out, and I love that feeling, man.
It is a nice feeling. I have to admit that. Like when we, well, it wasn't a nice feeling when we put up those boxes to the second floor where we live. We got a full pallet of, it was a little over 400 kilograms, and those boxes were huge. There was 144 units per box, and those were really, really heavy. I mean, it really almost killed my legs just walking up the stairs. But then we were like upstairs. It was really hot as well. It was like 36 degrees, 37 degrees, something like that, centigrade, not Fahrenheit. So we got up here. We're like really breathing heavily, like sitting in a chair, like sweating, and then we're like, okay, well, let's open them. And we opened the DVDs, and we're like, oh, this is awesome. It's really, really cool. So it's a nice feeling. And also, like, I mean, these little things, like for our supporters, we have those little buttons. And I know, I mean, buttons are like really 80s, but I'm old, so I'm entitled to do that.
I love it.
So we, like, for our early beard supporters, we got those. Yeah, it's not really sharp, is it?
That's an official beard button.
That is the official early beard bird. And then, of course, we also have a very, very specific one. I'm probably not going to get this sharp, am I?
Is that like a little...
that's the painting Buddha with glasses and the beard, so it looks like me. I mean, the body proportions are about right. I think the glasses are not quite the same shape, but
no way.
Those are just little things that we just toss in for the early bird, the early beard supporters, and these are all handmade. So I've been sitting basically like a whole day with the machine going like ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And sometimes I feel like, well, maybe this is too much, but then I feel like every single time I make one, it's like it's really worth it because everything we're doing on these DVDs is handmade. Other than, of course, the DVD production, but the filming, the editing, we're doing everything inside of our office, which is my living room. So it's nice to see what you can do from a living room, and then you're selling hundreds and hundreds of these things to nerds basically all over the planet.
Yeah.
Even now I get like little goosebumps here. It's a really cool feeling. I love it.
Well, good for you, man. And like we're all gonna reach a turning point where the forces of the world say it's time for your office and employees and oversee manufacture. And the more you can do in your own environment, the more you can do there, the better. And maybe if everybody took a page out of that book, we'd have a lot more satisfaction and pride in what we send out. I had the same experience with Ultraforge for years and years, and I gotta say that with Creature Caster, I'm a little bit saddened by the fact that I can no longer fill up my place with boxes of stuff. It's not an option. There's now tens of thousands of miniatures, and I won't be able to have it in my home.
Right.
But I do know two things. One, I'm never gonna have a Creature Caster miniature in my house that I'll pack up myself. It'd just be impossible. But number two, I guarantee I will have another business that I do out of my home where I do send it out from my house, because I really miss going to the post office. I really miss saying hi to the people there, giving them, with Ultraforge, it was like 2 sacks that I could put under my, like 2 kind of shopping bags, and I could just kind of plop them down and spend about half an hour there. And I really miss that half an hour of mailing the stuff out, holding the packages up to the sky, and the whole deal.
You know what? We have initially when we started, we had a really bad problems with DHL. We got like the business contract set up and all these kind of things.
DHL's crazy, man.
And it just didn't work. Now we have a new driver, and he's really, really cool. He's very helpful, and we always help him with carrying stuff down the stairs if we have a lot to do. But I know that when we actually get this order ready, and I'm going to open the door, and there's going to be 420, 430 boxes sitting there, he's going to faint. He's going to fall backwards. I'm looking forward to that so much. It's going to be a nice thing. I just realized that a lot of things I do just connect me to the hobby, like this, for example. This is a pot from Moscow. I got this from Hope River. She's an awesome painter in Moscow. And we meet her all the time, like everywhere. Last time I met her was on Husa in Poland. Before that, we met on the games. Yes, and we met her at the Games Day in the US, for example. We went to Graceland together with Ben-Hur and myself. Just like, it's so nice to meet all of these people that you would never have met in your life at these events. And to me, this is just like everything. That's the best thing you can do. Well, and Monte San Savino, are you going? Is it confirmed?
It's not confirmed, but like it's my every goal. It falls really close to delivery date, so I just have to make sure everything is going.
Maybe you can come in the same container.
I'd love, yeah. Well,
that'd be awesome. Just to guard it, like, arr.
I'd have to do a lot of globetrotting to get the, there's not only manufacture, there's also drop shipping in several countries. And so it's actually quite a little operation that's being created by Creature Caster. It's just like painting, but it's quite global. So we have to really make sure everything is on its way. Just so obviously I can do this business from in front of a computer, but I don't want to be a Monte San Savino and then be in front of my computer the entire time talking to shipping companies and manufacturers. But having said that, it's my every dream to go, and I'm making every effort. Also it's tricky going to Europe because I have so many friends in what is a fairly close proximity. It'll take me 2 days to go up north and visit Spud. It will take me a day to go down to London and visit Kenny, and then it will take me 1 plane ride to go visit you in Berlin, and then
it's like anywhere within Europe, you're pretty much within 2 hours with a plane.
Yeah.
There's not many locations that are farther away than that. Most of them actually an hour. Like if I go to Warsaw, it's 30-minute flight.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really, really close by. Actually, we will be at a lot of shows this year. We'll be at the Vertigo Cup. Next one is going to be Stresa, obviously, in Italy. Next weekend. Well, actually, this weekend. We'll be there. Ben is judging there, and I will be filming. And actually, everybody who wears a Painting Buddha T-shirt, talk to Ben or myself. We have goodies for you. You will actually receive a free bag, free miniature, free putty, free everything, and we'll even maybe give you something more than that. I'm not going to spoil it now. It's going to be awesome.
It's amazing. It's awesome. Just
so, our shirts are full of wins. So this is something we will do at every show now. So people that wear our shirts and just talk to us, they will get something, or they could win something, or whatever it may be. So we'll hopefully come with more exciting things than the bag of goodies. But I think it's a good start.
That's a great start, yeah.
So it's a payback T-shirt.
That's awesome.
We'll be at we'll be in Slovakia at the Vertigo Cup in September. Then we will follow this up with the SMC, the Scale Model Challenge in Eindhoven. We will be at the Euromilitaire this year. We'll be in Monte San Savino, and I forgot one show now. but the Hussar, of course, the Hussar, in Warsaw. So yeah, we are traveling all over Europe for these events, and as always, we will be reporting from these events. And this time, we'll actually kind of up the ante. We'll not only have pictures of all of the miniatures that you can find at these shows, and we're taking really, really good pictures, I have to say. We're also doing videos, interviews, fun things. We'll see where this goes. It's going to be interesting.
Is that all going to be on the YouTube?
Yeah, we're going to put this on the blog. We're going to put it on Facebook. Then we have different albums. We have like a Picasa web album, I think, for the pictures. We're going to put the videos up on YouTube. And if you follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/masterminis.net, then you'll find it. This masterminis.net will go at some point in the future. It will be called Painting Buddha because we started out as Master Minis, and then we turned into Painting Buddha in the process. So that'll be cleaned up a little bit, but yeah, for the time being, that's where you can find us.
Are you able, or do you already have the domains for Painting Buddha?
Oh yeah, the shop itself is on paintingbuddha.com, and you'll see later this year. Actually, later this period, we now have periods, and it's always 42 days. It started on Towel Day this year, International Towel Day, May 25th. Always know where a towel is. That's where the first period started. And that actually went till yesterday, 7/6. Again, it's 42. It's 42 days after Towel Day. So now we just entered the second period, which will go till August 17th, I believe it is. And that's another 42 days. And in the next 42 days, there's going to be a lot of new stuff. We'll change a lot of things. The first year, we've been busy kind of learning the ropes, doing what we're doing the DVDs, getting the right equipment, learning the software, and there's a lot to learn. I mean, we've never done these things before, and we're very happy with the results as they got out. But we're at a point now where we can do these things and do more. And people that support us with buying the DVDs, they're not only buying a DVD, really what they're doing is they're buying us the time to do more. And that's what I always intended these DVDs to be. I wanted to get the DVDs to the point where I can pay everything off the DVDs. But after everything is paid and after all the DVDs are made, we still have time to work for the community. And that's what we're going to be starting now. And it's going to be interesting. I definitely invite you all to follow this. It's going to be, minds will be blown. So it's going to be fun.
Cool.
Let's go to the comments real quick. We have.
Whatever link his demon guy.
Demon guy.
Did Spud link his Nurgly eBay auction?
Oh, I don't think he sent it yet. Did he? I don't see it on the comments. Do you see it? I noticed that not all comments show in the Google Hangout for some reason.
Spud.
Spud. Pinch. Come on.
Wake up. When you want to wake up, Jon Snow.
Yeah, if you want your demon to sell, send us the eBay link, man. I'm telling you.
Bidding war. It'll go wild.
Yeah. So we have Bastion watching. Hello, YouTube. He's the news ninja on Chilling Wargamers. And then we have Matzreprai, I guess. Who didn't know that YouTube streaming works in Germany. Actually, it's interesting because it didn't in the beginning, and I had to kind of bypass it, which worked, and now you don't have to bypass it anymore. So it works. All right.
Deutsche.
Oh, I just got news in. Exclusive news. Rumors. Rumor mill. I should have like.
Beep.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have these sounds here? Hold on. Let me get a sound.
Beep.
No, I don't want to. See, we could do this now. We can have like
breaking.
You get a pirate. So stupid. How do I turn this off? I'm sorry. So let's see. We got the drum roll. Okay.
Breaking news.
This just in. Rumors. I'm not going to mention the source. Looks like a company that I will refer to as GW is doing a U-turn on metals. They are advertising for a resin metal production manager. A metal resin production manager from GW.
I can get that job.
Oh, yeah. You probably don't need to anymore, but sure, go ahead.
That might be a cut in my pay grade.
Yeah, interesting. That could be. Now, the source says that he would expect the heavy metal as a production trademark. Price hike, obviously, right? That's not really new. And then a direct contradiction to all the crap they spouted about Finecast quality. Yeah, Finecast.
You know, I'm going to throw.
Finecast melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
We all know Finecast is a failed experiment, but with varying degrees. I like resin, so there's that. I just don't think they can cast very good with resin, so there's that. But again, very opinion based here. You know, I've seen some models in resin, including my own, that look fantastic, but you just have to put no fillers, no foam in your resin, pure resin, which ends up being very strong and very light and very crispy. But this is my theory, Michael, with why they're looking for a metal and resin person, and I'm going to put on my glasses for this. So you
look more scientific. Do you have like a white coat or something? We should have a show with like white coats on, like those lab coats.
A lot of people don't know that I actually wear glasses, so these are my glasses. This is my theory. My glasses. Look at how shiny my glasses are. They say, "Do you want to get the coating that makes them not as shiny?" I'm like, "Oh, that's probably just like a way for you to get more money." I had no idea. It's actually helpful. So I'm gonna take them off. They're a little too shiny.
Too much.
But this is my theory.
All right.
So the reason why GW wants to get a metal and resin guy is because I think GW, in its square sprue method of resin casting, is now going to switch to spun cast resin. Now, spun cast resin works in the same wheel format as resin spin casting. So I think GW is going to switch to spin casting.
Possible. I mean, they've done spin casting for metal forever, and I know some people, actually, not really big companies, that have not only experimented but also actually working on spun cast resin, which works. I mean, you have to. Yeah, it's a different materials, but it should work. Actually, it's interesting. I had a discussion recently also about kind of plastic injection molding, not using those really expensive steel die, but like a cheaper material. So I think there's a lot of movement in this area, and we all know why people go to China for production, because it's just a very labor-intensive project making these dies, and I'm good for them. So metal, if they did like collector edition metal miniatures again, I might actually even buy them, because that's what I do.
Well, yeah,
that's cool.
Metal is special, and it's even more special now that they don't do a lot of metal. So if it is an entire figure in metal, that will be pretty special.
Yeah, back to the roots.
Yeah. I would like the original prices.
No, well, I honestly, I do like the original prices on the metal, like the early 90s, late 80s prices. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, those are great. I remember I used to save up, buy a miniature, and it didn't break the bank. And I remember getting the first Corn Blood Slaughterer. Comment in the comment section if you bought the metal Blood Slaughterer.
Blood Slaughterer.
Slaughterer. It's literally the Blood Slaughterer. What a ridiculous name.
Yeah, Adam Parkhouse from Portal. Oh, I must plug Portal. I should have a plug sound as well.
Click.
Where is my Portal magazine?
Blue is back. Winamac.
Winamac. No Mac stuff. I almost stopped the transmission because I am in the wrong window here. That's what you get when you have too many different screens. Portal
Portal magazine.
My secret sources. Don't look at this. Nobody knows everything. Oh. No, there's too many names to choose from. So and obviously
it's fear. It's fear.
No, it's not fear. But so Portal Magazine is like the #1 free source for articles on pretty much everything. It's a free magazine. It's an e-zine, I guess, was the name that people invented in the 90s. It's done with a lot of love and detail and care. It has great articles about painting, step-by-steps. Some of these step-by-steps even covered multiple issues. It comes out once a month. This was, I believe, number 36. And definitely check this out. You can download these for free from WEM. And so that's my little shout out there.
And you'll see Liliana Troy. I saw her picture in the Friends there. That was fun.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She knows what's good. Good stuff, quality stuff for free.
It doesn't get better than that.
It does not. Well, maybe they could pay us for reading it, but oh well, that might be a stretch.
You just found the one thing that's better than free.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, he says that this is an interesting rumor, and honestly, I hope they do that. I really do, because metal miniatures have to me, as at least for the collector's side, have just a different feel to it, a different value. And a plastic miniature in 20 years, nobody wants it. A metal miniature in 20 years has a value to it. So I hope it does. Well, that's my retirement plan, man.
It's a win-win. Regardless of a person's feeling on the materials they like, we all know there's a good way to work with any material you get. And I honestly believe the way they work with resin right now is a bit janky. And if they do spin cast it and use those techniques, it's a win. If they do more models in metal, it's a win, because we know they can cast in metal. They've done a great job in the past.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, what's up with the Perry twins officially announcing that they left GW? The Perry twins, man, my boys.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's surprising. I think my comment at the time I read this was good for them. I heard, and this is again a rumor, that they weren't too happy with things the way things were going at Games Workshop. Now they've been with the company, I believe, 37 years or something, and I'm pretty sure that they were clever enough to be let go because of the severance pay that you receive in these kind of instances. And plus, they have a very successful line of their own miniatures. I actually met them at Salute this year. Was it last year? This year? Wow, I think it was this. No, it was this year. Well, I was really tired on the day. It was really, really bad. But the show was great. I wasn't. But I think they're doing fine. They're awesome sculptors. They love the historical scene, always have. They can focus on this now. They have an awesome line of their own products. I have to say, good for them. And I guess that, interestingly enough, they were mostly in charge of the Lord of the Rings / The Hobbit line. And now, obviously, that is also being phased out at some point in the future. The Lord of the Rings was still kind of successful for Games Workshop. The Hobbit was a big flop. You can actually still buy limited edition boxes from the first release in the stores, and you're probably going to buy them next year as well. But yeah,
it's funny because that was our theory, was that the War of the Five Armies would be the real time where that I used to work for G-Dub, and at the time they just came out with the Lord of the Rings game, and so I was kind of selling this game, and I thought, you know what would make this game really great is if it didn't hinge so much on the movies and more just focused on the War of the Five Armies, and then that way we could get a real Warhammer fantasy type game, really get some units going. I love the skirmish element, so keep that, but also have this kind of War of Five Armies feel. But I'm afraid by the time we actually get to see it in the next movie, we'll be completely exhausted and won't have anything left for the game system, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I think, and I wrote. I'm not going to repeat all of my theories there, but I wrote this in my many. I think it's 14 articles now on the future of Games Workshop and Game Stays. Is that the Lord of the Rings craze at the beginning of the 2000s really put them into a very weird position, because all of a sudden they didn't have just gamers and painters. They actually had collectors of Lord of the Rings, and all they would do is buy the miniatures and put them somewhere in storage and never touch it again and don't come back. So they sold masses and masses and masses, but they had really no sustainability behind it or so. It just didn't sustain the business model, and that paired with the internet Wild West 50% rebate on everything, mentality at the time definitely didn't help them.
Well, and that was a massive deal. Even White Dwarf had half of the issues dedicated to the game system. A game system which was, if by comparison, by numbers that we know, if you would have taken the Lord of the Rings game system, and if you would have taken all those hours taken in designing that, it's a good game, in terms of it being a game, good scenarios, they're balanced. If you were to take all that effort and just reboot, say, Necromunda being the better seller between Mordheim and Gothic. Make a new Necromunda would have been huge. Would have sold a bajillion units. Everybody would have a gang, and we would right now be fighting in the spires of Hive cities.
It's interesting because now that they basically killed all of these product lines, they still have the names and the IPs and all these things behind it, but they're not doing anything with them right now. But I heard, I think was it Inquisitor game that's coming soon?
Oh yeah.
I think I heard something about it. I think I saw some pictures even that could be interesting. I actually bought Space Hulk, the game, which was probably the worst game I bought in the last 20 years. It's like totally boring. It's really, really bad. But it's interesting because Blood Bowl, for example, Blood Bowl has a very, very big fan base, especially here in Europe, and I want to say especially in Germany. There's a lot of Blood Bowl players out there, and now you got all of these, even before that, but now even more so, you have all these companies, small companies making armies for Blood Bowl or making parts for Blood Bowl. Now you have things like Dreadball, you have things like Guild Ball. So, I mean, this is a gaming system that, with a little love and tenderness, could have, even for Games Workshop, now these are two terms they don't know, at least not in management, that could have been something to really to develop into more. They had the computer game going, and the computer game is still hot. People are still playing in leagues and so on. And just killing it outright is just, I just don't get it. It can't cost that much to make 5 armies for a board game that is of a skirmish factor, right? It's not a Space Marine army with hundreds of models.
I know exactly. If I was on Dragon's Den, I know exactly what they would tell me if I went in there with Blood Bowl. They would say, okay, so one branch of your company is Blood Bowl, the other one is Warhammer. First thing you do, get rid of Blood Bowl, put all that effort into Warhammer. And it makes perfect sense for them. You would say to them, no, you don't understand. People love Blood Bowl. Like their heart pumps Blood Bowl when they're playing it. Like, this is real.
It is a fun game. It really is.
Super fun game.
Easy to pick up. Very strategic.
Paint up my models. I can get 2 armies instead of having to buy more junk for my 1 army. I can just have flavor. I can have more things now. I can get in a tournament. I love the rosters. I can name my players and give them some character. Players die, and I feel remorse. It's a fantastic game system, and it's just perfect for a small team of people, and it's just a nightmare for a great big corporation, unfortunately.
I guess so. But the good thing is, like the guys from Guild Ball, for example, they're making a game that is much deeper. It has a lot of fluff. It has apparently awesome rules. I have not played it myself yet. I hope I will be able to play it very soon. And it has awesome-looking miniatures. And people that actually do this with the intention of helping retailers. What's not to like, right? So I wish those guys all the luck in the world, and definitely doing my part that they can be even more successful.
Well, we'll see them in stores as soon as their Kickstarter ships. They'll have a retail arm. We should all give it a shot. If you did want to see a Dreadball full playthrough, you can just go on YouTube, or not Dreadball, rather Guild Ball.
The Guild Ball.
You can do this with Dreadball as well. You can see lots of playthroughs with that, but you can see a full playthrough of Guild Ball with the game designers that was done on Beasts of War. That was the first time I saw the game being played, and I was very impressed by the rules.
Yeah, as I said yesterday, I talked to them for 2 hours, and I was just very impressed with the guys, I have to say. It's kind of like, it's like we're talking, right? So even if we're talking offline, before, after the shows, we're not just saying, okay, it was a great show, and we did all of these marketing phrases. Now let's count our money, kind of thing. It's like we're actually getting more nerdy because we think we can't be this nerdy on the air. So
everyone gets more nerdy when the camera goes off. That's when you start talking about movies, start talking about things coming up.
I had a great call on Friday evening with my friend Fernando Ruiz from H&V Miniatures.
Yep.
He said, "Do you have 5 minutes?" I said, "Sure." It took exactly 3 hours, like to the second 3-hour call. And I didn't even see him because his camera was broken. It was just an awesome call. But we had a lot of fun. And actually, while I'm at it, let me just talk about him real quick. Because, so everyone, yeah, this looks right. So everyone who's going to Stresa this weekend, it's I've never been to World Expo, so I really can't say I don't know what to expect, really. I know that as far as the quality of miniatures is concerned, it's very, very high. You have people from all over the world coming to this event. I think it's every 3 years only. And so it is a big event. It is probably the one premium event in the world. Now, whether this means it's the best event, I don't know. I'll probably tell you next week. Okay, but there will be on the booth of Heroes and Villain. Heroes and Villain is a historic manufacturer. They're doing large-scale models, like 75 mil, at an incredibly low price. Like usually you pay like 30, 40, 50 euros for these miniatures, and they have them for 20, maybe 25 sometimes, depending on the models. And they have some really, really cool designs. I think they're mostly famous for their Sherlock Holmes and Watson. And I have a very slow connection right now. And Fernando Ruiz, he's a very, very good painter. He's actually has given painting classes in South America already. He's all over Europe and so on. I think also in the US. Very, very good painter, and he's running this company. And he is so nerdy, like I am. It's like we both love Monty Python, and so if you're going to Stresa, all I'm saying is talk to us. You'll know why. That's all I'm going to say. Now, also for Stresa, which is interesting, there's a lot of classes that you can go to and pay for, and these classes are actually pretty expensive. I know they're worth it, definitely, for sure. But on the booth of Heroes and Villain, I think it's level 1+, booth 219AB. Yeah, that's actually what it says there, right? Okay, see, I did this from memory, great. So he has like some of the biggest names in the industry. Like one of the people that I want to meet so badly is Pepa Saavedra. She's also on the cover of the last Portal magazine. Not she, but her miniature. She has I think she's probably one of the best female bust and large-scale model painters out there. And I want to meet her so bad. And I'm going to meet some of my older friends, like David Zabrocki from the UK, great historic painter, very, very nice guy. There's sculpting going on, and all of this is free and live, and you can just ask questions and so on.
Wow,
it's going
booth. Very cool.
For both days, all the time. And definitely check this out. You will also see this flyer on the Heroes and Villain website, and I believe also on the Facebook site, which I did not open, did I? No, I didn't. So yeah, definitely check them out. And it would not be the worst idea if you talk to us first. Just saying. Just saying. We talked for 3 hours, so we have some funny ideas.
Do you remember back in the olden days when there was no girls in the hobby, and now there is such a strong female contingent in the hobby? It's amazing.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is that we're. I mean, it's still. I think the ratio is probably still about maybe 20-80 or something like that. But it depends at which area you look at. For example, if you're going more the anime route, you will see almost parity to some extent, especially when it comes to painters. And there's some really talented anime painters out there. If it goes more to the hardcore gaming, I think it's probably shifting a little more towards the male side. But I can only say, as for competition painters, that's usually good news because women tend to be the better painters, I have to say. If you look at the last Crystal Brush, Marike Reimer won the Crystal Brush. We also met her at Games Day US last year. very, very nice girl, nice woman, and extremely talented. Then we have the Russian painters, for example. I talked about Hope River from Russia. I think she got 4 or 5 demons at the Games Day US.
Wow.
We have Anna Shestakova is coming to Stresa as well. So there's a lot of women, and they tend to be really, really good painters.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of emphasis, like with the female gender script, you know, having to wear the cosmetics and do all the kind of primping and stuff as a woman, which, you know, I think is probably a little overblown in today's society, and it's certainly a bit, you know, it's a lot of work. You look inside of a painting kit of a female painter as opposed to a male, you will see brushes you've never seen before. And I've often asked, where did you get this brush? And they will say, it's in the second aisle in the MAC Cosmetics store. it's literally like the best dry brush you've ever seen.
It is so funny. If you ever did like historic model like tanks and so on, I think it's from Tamiya has a kit out, and I'm pretty sure the other companies have this as well. It looks exactly like a eyeshadow box. It has this kind of like pigmenty colors on there. Also, the applicator, even the applicator is the same thing. It's like you look at this and say, okay, these are like NATO camouflage colors. You probably wouldn't put those on your face, but it's the same thing, really, the same applicator and everything. And so it's not
latex,
that
sponge wedges are the exact same latex wedges that are used for foundation. In fact, a lot of makeup artists would probably recognize most of these tools as well if they didn't already have experience using them for their own makeup. Yeah. So kind of a really cool byproduct of the gender equality in the hobby.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Thing that would be going to say. Adam just wrote. Adam Parkers. He just wrote that. Sorry for spamming the comments, but no, don't be sorry for spamming. Spam the comments. Everyone, spam the comments right now.
Spam away.
Yeah, just spam just write anything. I'll read out something funny. But he just said that Blood Bowl would be by far away the one, or by far be the one thing that would get him back into Games Workshop. No questions asked. And yeah, I think it's a great game. Kimo said that Blood Bowl was his first Games Workshop game ever, 20 years ago. A gateway drug.
Mine was Necromunda, so it's probably similar in the sense that it was one of the specialist games, and it was a game in a box. And maybe it was the same reason for him, because I knew I could paint a small team and then begin playing right away. And it wasn't until a little bit later that I started to play Blood Bowl.
It's interesting. Kimo also corrected me. It's not Inquisitor. It's the Wartime video game, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that looked pretty nice. I mean, the graphics look really nice. Now I don't know what the gameplay is going to be, but that looked interesting at least.
You know, one thing about GW games is maybe this is a good thing, but they tend not to. They don't have any real oversight into the video game process. So, for example, when Cyanide's doing their Blood Bowl games, that's just all Cyanide. Like, there's no attaché, there's no liaison. Just recently at Roadhouse Studios, they just did the Space Marine Carnage game, and that's a bunch of my friends that are part of the Roller Derby League that I help out with, and they've done lots of stuff like the Family Guy Online game. They do some great Unity programming, and my friend Snow Crash did the Kayla did she leaded that project, and there was very little oversight from GW. They just kind of wanted a final game, wanted to see that it, you know, kind of coincided with the canon. I thought it'd be a lot more grippy than that, but GW is actually pretty flexible.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Just going through the comments real quick. There's one more from Korak Shone. I think I pronounced that correctly, Korak. He says that he's looking forward to both of our products. He actually found Painting Buddha through the Creature Caster Kickstarter.
Wow.
Ordered the DVD to up his painting skills to do your models justice. So yeah, it's interesting because I think that really worked both ways, didn't it? I know that a lot of people cursed me for introducing them to Creature Caster Kickstarter because they ended up spending a lot of money. They sent me like hate mail, like, "Oh, I hate you." This model, I had to buy the dragon, and I know like one of my friends, as soon as he went on vacation now, I think yesterday, and just a couple of days he said, "Oh, do you know when the Pledge Manager is out? I definitely must have the zombie. I must add the zombie dragon." It's like really, really cool.
Well, I've felt that feeling too on other Kickstarters, especially when there's the pressure of having to come in on time. I don't like to me, it's a very uneasy feeling having that pressure. So I definitely sympathize with everybody who went in on the campaign. But I do think the companies blend very well together, and it's going to be a lot of fun and confidence building to see you guys paint a model and then really give me the confidence I need as a painter to apply these techniques. And I just know from painting Buddha videos, you do such a good job of breaking it down that even at my painting skill level, I'll be able to apply all that stuff.
I had this question yesterday. It's like the season 1.1, which is almost sold out now. So if anyone still wants them, they better get them now. We have a handful reserved for retailers. We will go into retail, hopefully, if somebody wants us soon. But on the season 1.1, the question was, is this for like beginners, intermediate, or really advanced painters? And the question really is only yes, because it's for everyone. When you learn about color consistency, for example, that is like the first thing anyone should learn when you're trying to do like a showcase painting to control the paint on your brush. It's like a base technique. And once you know that, then everything else will come very naturally. So you can actually climb like a couple of steps just by watching one DVD and just apply parts of it. You don't need to apply everything like right at once. Just doing whatever feels comfortable to you. Sometimes you just say, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do it my way, and that's perfectly fine. But everybody will be able to find something new and some ways to be a better painter and to improve on their painting skills. And again, I think freehands, I know for myself, freehands is something where people are just afraid to even try. Right? You have a banner, it's so small, and then you want to have that dragon that's on the, it kind of encircles a castle, and you go like, well, I'm never going to be able to do that. And you watch the DVD, and everybody will be able to do that. It's very, very simple to actually do these kind of things. And it's kind of like a big confidence booster, because now you have the chance, you have a well-painted miniature, and you give it a well-painted banner. And now you're in a completely different league when it comes to judging a miniature. And if you then have a really well done base, which is something that most people really, really, really seriously like, still, even on the highest level of painting, bases are something that are not a little shaky sometimes. But if you learn how to do bases correctly, then all of a sudden you get like all of the things together, and you even if you don't change your painting skill as such, the whole presentation of what you're doing has just reached a completely different level. To say that cool mini score is like probably 2 points up at least. So, and that's nice. And none of these things are difficult. All it takes is a little thinking, watching what's happening in nature, applying some very basic techniques, putting it all together, and you're done. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, instant improvement on the miniatures.
Okay, I said I called the devil. People are spamming now. That's cool. So let's see. Let me just go back here. Okay, we are both looking very gorgeous, says Miniature Maniacs.
Oh, that's very, very flattering. Thank you very much.
I would say you have 50% good taste. Bloodmaster says spam, spam, spam. I don't like spam. Facial hair, yes. Okay, spam, 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 spammity spam. Dragons, chilling wargamers, yes. Big sexy men. All right. Yes.
That's pretty good spamming. That's like the most flattering spamming.
Yeah, he's like, now, when do I come on? Lol. You're on now. You're live, Venture Maniacs. Woo. Thumbs up. All right, guys. What else is there to say? What do we have on the? We had the Stresa. Any news on your side?
Well, you know, doing that Gen Con, and then before Gen Con, I'm going to be getting those models printed. As soon as I got them back from printing, they go into a short-run cast, and then I mail those out to a bunch of important people in my life. And the person doing the casting lives here in Vancouver. He does a beautiful job. No, those casts will not be available for purchase. They're just going to be for promotional purposes. And then the masters I will be bringing with me to Gen Con, locked in my briefcase. With my
the real masters.
That's right. And it'll be pretty exciting. And so, you know.
I think you should be going for a bodyguard now.
Well, considering they are pretty expensive, and they are, you know, it'll be neat to show people the real article, and it's the least I can do. I did want to go through my campaign signing miniatures. I did sign them in Ultra Forge. I can't do that with this company. There's just too many, and it's at least at Gen Con I'll be able to show some people the originals.
Cool. Yeah, and again, if you're going to Stresa, I know a lot of people are going to Stresa. Talk to us. Free stuff if you wear a Painting Buddha shirt. Maybe even free stuff if you don't. I don't know that. We'll have probably more free stuff than there's going to be Painting Buddha shirts. I know that for sure. So we'll probably pass those out on the second or third day as well. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I wanna do one more quick thing, and that is point people into a very interesting direction.
Oh yeah.
And that is, where's my? Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Infamy Miniatures.
You guys are awesome.
August 10th, a day that will live in infamy. Now, yeah.
They got some good looking
not
stuff.
August, July. I'm sorry, I messed this up. I was trying so hard to be like some historic figure, but that kind of failed.
July 10th, a day for miniatures
to live in infamy. So I've been scheming with James Griffith, the mastermind behind Infamy Miniatures, for quite a while now. And he's starting his Kickstarter on July the 10th. I've seen, well, first of all, I've heard a lot about the background story. He has a very, very cool, fluffy universe that he created. It's a steampunk universe. It's kind of Tesla plays a major role in there as an inventor, and there's all kinds of crazy characters in there. The designs are, I want to say, to some extent, even stunning. There's some really, really, really cool miniatures in there. And, well, yeah, we've been talking, so I don't know what exactly came out of it, and I can't say, but definitely worth watching this. It's going to be Thursday, the 10th, so this is this week. And we will be having a Beeble Babble on Wednesday at 7 p.m., same time as tonight. And there's probably going to be more leaks about what's going on.
Oh, everyone's got to watch that.
It's honestly, it's pretty exciting, and I think what he's trying to do as well. Again, he's one of those guys, kind of like you and the Guild Ball guys and Hangar 18 and Arcane Factories and so on. I'm really bad with names, so I always have to think. But
that's a pretty good run.
Yeah, that was a pretty good run. But like all of these people that we've been talking to, they share like one thing. They share this passion for the hobby and the passion for the community, and also passion for trying to change things in the industry, in just putting things in a more healthy direction, if you want. And James is a very, 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 very funny guy, so that's going to be interesting.
Well, that's going to be a great episode. I can't wait to tune into that. And for everybody who wants to make sure they don't miss it, make sure you go to the masterminis.net blog. Make sure you just add Painting Buddha, or rather Master Minis, on Facebook.
We should cross-promote us now. Now, let's see. You got 3,000. Oh, I'm so German today. 3,680 likes. We have 5,370. So how many different? It's about 1.7K that have not liked Creature Caster yet. Please head over and like Creature Caster.
And then Creature Caster, go on down.
Go there now. And then maybe next time we'll talk. We'll also have Dizzy with us again, which I would be looking forward to.
That'd be great. We wish her the best with all the trouble she's been having with the power outages and all
that. So that's that. Yeah, I think from my side, that would be it. I would continue my evening with packing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boxes for the people that supported us.
I would help you out if I was in the neighborhood. I'm right now going to go downtown. I'm going to talk to my friend Michael, who's been writing a very interesting piece of software that might help me out in the future. And he's a brilliant sculptor, works on a lot of motion pictures. Vancouver being known for being a very motion picture-y kind of place in the world. And then after that, I'm hanging out with Joe, sculptor for a Creature Caster. We're going to go grab some supplies for some camping. We're gonna do a couple of days on the weekend, and it should be a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right. So from the community, we have now a battle between spam, like plain spam, the comfy chair, and then spam fried crispy with rice and scrambled eggs as being the best breakfast. So I think we'll have this discussion continue by itself in the YouTube comments.
I'm gonna get in on that. I'm hungry.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I am too. So we'll.
Any of our Hawaiian listeners and commenters are thrilled about the spam. Spam, of course, being a very popular dish in Hawaii.
Oh, really? Okay.
Even McDonald's in Hawaii has spam on their menu. They have spam burgers, spam breakfast specials. True story.
I did not know that. That's awesome. Yeah, like in Germany, if you find spam, it usually comes in a can that is so uninviting that you probably wouldn't want to try it. It looks like some like leftovers from the 50s or something. But well, who knows? Actually,
I personally love it. So
I'm not buying it myself, but I like eating it. So if somebody wants to send me some spam, just go ahead. I accept spam in my mailbox every day. Why not in my real life mailbox as well?
I stayed in a hostel in Maui in Happy Valley. Happy Valley is like kind of it's like a really kind of like working class part of Maui, really cool part of town. And you go to the store anywhere. Quick story on I'll leave with a quick story on Hawaii, so it feels like we're all taking a tropical vacation with our day. So there I am in Maui and hungover. Wake up in the morning. We had a big cake party the day before. Walk into the I don't endorse drinking, by the way, but I just at this point in my life was drinking, and so I was going over to the corner store to grab myself a coffee. Any cup of coffee from like any gas station, any like home, any restaurant. If you get coffee in Hawaii, it's the best coffee you've ever had. It's really? All Kona coffee. And I look over and I see some sashimi, some a la carte sashimi, and I thought, well, there's a big Japanese influence in Hawaii because it's kind of between. It's kind of in between Japan and Vancouver and LA. So there's this really neat confluence of cultures. And I look at the sashimi, and it's not fish that's on the top of this little thing of rice. It's actually spam. They're little spam sashimi. It's a true story. So I buy sashimi. Big honking spam sashimi with like rice, a little bit of seaweed holding the big thing of spam.
So like a real sushi. Awesome. That is awesome.
Awesome. So that was my breakfast, all hungover in Happy Valley. So anyways, aloha to all my friends in Hawaii.
Yeah. So Mel Smith just wrote that he was brought up on spam, which is probably why he has a heart condition now. Scottish style. I think if you counter this with fried Snickers, you'd probably be okay. So that's deep fried Snickers and ice cream and I don't know what. All right. Well, man, it's been good talking to you again. Thanks for the update on what's going on with CreatureCaster. I think as soon as your pledge manager is up, we'll probably talk again. That's not too far. It's not too far away.
Yeah, plus I'll have some new screenshots of some new models. I'll make sure to save some exclusives for you. But also, so all the CreatureCaster fans know, I will be posting an update tonight, and it does have all that stuff. But if you're very sleuthy, I did give a sneak preview update on the comment section for the keeners who are there just to reward them. And usually they get it a couple days early just as a kind of sneak preview.
Yeah, all right. Cool. So thank you again. Again, big shout out to Dizzy. Hope you got your power back, and we'll be looking forward to having you on our show again next time. Mm-hmm. And then big thanks to all of you out there. First of all, to all of the viewers tonight. Secondly, to all of the supporters that helped us through the last couple of weeks here with Painting Buddha by supporting us and pre-ordering the products. And I will be continuing to work the whole night to get your orders out as soon as possible.
It's looking great.
Thanks a lot.
See you guys. Thank you.